Hi everyone, Emily Teacher here again, and today we're reading together Close Relatives. The image of the chimpanzee some of us may have is that of a creature who can make us laugh at what seems a comical parody of human behavior. We may even have seen chimps on television or in the circus, often in human garb, performing as they have been trained, amusing the audience with their zany antics. So, we're talking about chimpanzees, and we've seen them often portrayed as this really funny monkey, right? In the circus, wearing people's clothes and performing, right? But let's learn more about what chimpanzees really are. Let's see. Chimpanzees are not inherently comical. In fact, they are strong, highly intelligent, lively primates, members of the order of mammals that includes humans as well as apes. They are more like human beings in their genes, their body and brain structure, and their way their organs work than are any other living beings. Research has shown that our human gene code differs from that of chimpanzees by less than 2%. More than 98% of our genes are the same. Chimpanzees are capable of reasoning, of abstraction, and of other intellectual processes that we used to think only humans possessed. Chimpanzees have language capability even though they cannot articulate human speech. A young chimp is able to make at least 32 different sounds, and its face can express a wide range of emotions. Tractable animals, they have learned to communicate using American Sign Language or computer keyboards. So, chimpanzees are very strong and very smart animals. Their gene code is very similar to people's. So, um, while they are still very different from us, they share a lot of commonalities with people. So, they can reason, they can think of abstract things, and they are not able to speak like humans speak, but they are able to speak in different ways, like through American Sign Language or through all the different sounds that they make. Chimpanzees also have emotions similar to ours. They too experience happiness and sadness, fear and anxiety. They have a sense of humor and develop close friendships with other individuals. They become distressed if separated from a companion and grieve if one dies. So, some more common things they have with people. Found mostly in the tropical forests and grasslands of Africa, they are gregarious creatures and live in highly organized communities of 15 to 80 adult males, females, infants, and partly grown young. The average size of a chimpanzee is about 4.5 feet tall, with a weight of about 120 pounds. They have long arms and short legs, large ears, abundant brown or black hair, and often a white area around the mouth. Unlike monkeys, they have no tail. They live both high up in the trees and on the ground. In the trees, where most of the feeding takes place, they swing from branch to branch. When on the ground, although they are able to walk erect or standing up straight, they usually walk on all fours, using the knuckles of their hands. Young chimpanzees are playful and affectionate. Adults are extremely powerful, much more powerful than people, and can be pugnacious if taken from their natural habitat into captivity. So, mostly they're found in these tropical forests and grasslands in Africa. They're very noisy and loud animals, and they live in very large groups, right? Anywhere from 15 to 80. They're very big, about the size of a small person, 4.5 feet tall, weigh about 120 pounds, and they have long arms. But unlike other monkeys, they don't have tails. So, they are both in the trees and on the ground. So when they're in the trees, they swing using their arms, right? And they're able to walk straight up, but usually they just walk on their knuckles and their feet, so on four legs. They're very cute and loving and playful when they're babies. And when they're adults, they're very strong, very powerful. So if you try to take one from the wild, they can be very dangerous. Males and females cooperate in providing and sharing food. Although their diet is mainly vegetarian, chimpanzees also eat meat. Males form hunting parties to stalk smaller mammals such as monkeys, young baboons, and bush pigs. Because the females have strong maternal instincts and nurture their young for as long as 4 years, their ability to join in the hunt is restricted. Instead, they gather food, collecting fruit, plants, insects, and birds' eggs. Being especially dexterous, chimpanzees are able to make tools that they need. Females, for example, strip long twigs and poke them through holes in termite hills. When they carefully withdraw the stick, termites are clinging to it. They can be removed and eaten. So the male chimpanzees hunt, and the female chimpanzees, because they have to take care of the young, um, they scavenge. So they find fruit and bugs and plants to eat. And they even make their own tools in order to catch some of the insects that they eat. So very, very smart animals. Much of what we know about chimpanzees comes from the work of the English anthropologist Jane Goodall. She has been studying chimpanzees' behavior in the Central African country of Tanzania since 1960. By living among them as unobtrusively as possible, she was able to observe and record their activities. Over several decades, she has amassed a vast amount of information while campaigning on their behalf. In 1968, she persuaded the Tanzanian government to establish Gombe National Park as a chimpanzee sanctuary and research center. So we know most of what we know about chimpanzees because of Jane Goodall. She um, lived among the chimpanzees without interfering with them for quite a long time and got a lot of information on how they live and what they're like. And she also has worked with governments to work at protecting this animal. In recent years, Africa's chimpanzee population has been decimated. Their numbers have been reduced by such reprehensible practices as illegal hunting and destruction of the tropical rainforest by logging or farming. They are also subject to capture for use in zoos and research laboratories. They are now an endangered species. So, because of things like hunting, destruction of rainforests, because of taking the trees or from farming, people bringing them to zoos or using them to do research on, chimpanzees, unfortunately, now are an endangered species, meaning there's not a ton of them left. But that's a story for another time. Thank you for listening today. We have links that are related to each article. If you want the links for this one here, you can find them down in the description below.